Hello. I'm going to tell you a little story about why it's important to just let go and trust that it's all going to work out, whatever you're into. I have spent the majority of my life not doing this. I I used to try to control everything and work with my action and my hands and my thought power and my plans and my energy to try and force things to happen the way I could kind of perceive this will be best. So I could kind of go in that direction, not understanding that I can only perceive of what I think is best from where I'm standing, and I can't see the big picture. So I've had a lot more luck the last couple of years of just letting go, being happy with where I'm standing, and consciously being in the receiving mode. Meaning good things happen to me, for me, around me, and people I love. So that's kind of what I'm talking about here, what the purpose of the story is. So this is the trailer story. So Kara has a travel trailer. Before we moved here to Muskoka, she lived in the city and wanted an escape. So her cousin had a horse farm half hour away from her house in the city. She could just go a little bit north out of the city, wind up at her at this horse farm, and they had quite a bit of acreage there. And so Kara decided that she would camp for the weekend out there in the field and that kind of stuff, and have some Zen moments and some time just to her out of her busy city life and that kind of stuff. So then she loved that so much and did it in a tent for a year or so, and then the opportunity was for her to get this travel trailer out of a trailer park from these people. They bought it brand new, and it spent this big long trailer spent its whole life so far in this trailer park. They bought it, they parked it there, and that was it. And then so Kara had the opportunity to buy this thing for not very much money because the people were getting a brand new trailer. So they pulled the trailer to her cousin's horse farm and set it up. And it's got one of those tip out deals for the dining room. So it only been pushed in for the move, and then they get it there and they deploy it again. But now all the seal's been broken and whatnot. So it's been there for quite a few years. So they had to kind of work at making sure it doesn't leak and that kind of thing. So the trailer stays at the horse farm for the last several years, worked out really well, and she had it set up really, really nice, and it was her place to go with just for her time, and she could escape, and she needed to, when she lived in the city, she needed a place, she needed an option for that. So life changed for relatively recently, though. We moved from the city. We now have a place in Muskoka. It's very Zen-like up here anyway. You don't need an escape from this. So the question has been lately, what do we do with Kara's trailer? And the problem arose when her cousin decided to sell the horse farm. So now the trailer had to move. So the problem really presented itself. So I haven't been very involved up to this point, except that now I'm going to be involved with helping to move the thing. So we went out and had a look and saw what it was going to take to move the trailer, and then what are we going to do with it, So it's only been moved a couple of times in its whole life. So there was a certain amount of work to do that I was making up my mind. I have to do this work now, you know? And so I put kind of a list together and figured all the tools I would need and that kind of thing. We're gonna have to push the dining area tip out back in and get it so it's in a good state for towing. Not knowing what we're gonna do. What are we gonna do? We're gonna sell it? Or are we gonna where should it go? How long is that gonna take? So we figured, well, we'll bring it here to Muskoka for now and then kind of make some decisions. You know, she's done some improvements along the way. Do we save some of those pieces and sell it as is, or should we, you know, kind of fix it up so it's a whole trailer for someone else to buy? What kind of price do you do in either one of those scenarios? We're, you know, thinking. And so we go out on a couple weekends ago, and I make my list. I have a little inspection, look underneath. The frame looks good. The only thing that looks kind of scary to me is moving this tip out in and out. So I get kind of a plan of attack on how I'm going to go about this. And then we come back, and I think the very next night, Kara belongs to a Facebook group for people in the local area. And someone posts in this group that Kara happens to read that because of the whole COVID-19 thing, they will now have 3 of their adult/teenage kids coming home from college, from dorms and that kind of stuff from around the country, because, you know, classes aren't happening or whatever. Either way, they don't have enough bedrooms. So they're posting in this thing, does anybody have a trailer for sale that they could use? Doesn't have to be super nice and all this kind of thing. I think they didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money doing this, but they need more bedrooms for these kids that are going to be coming home to them. And wow, what a perfect problem solution opportunity. So they got in touch with each other, and we pulled it here, and it's in really good shape. So Kara did a little bit of cleanup just because she hasn't stayed in it this year yet, kind of thing. And then this other woman come over to have a look at it. Really, really loved what she saw. And so yesterday Kara finished cleaning it, and then we hooked it up and towed it over. They're only like 5 minutes away from us, and we pulled it in their yard and dropped it off for them. And Kara just gave it to them. So she took the things that she wanted out of it and just said, "Here, it had a whole life with these people who bought it brand new, and they seemed to really, really like it. And then Kara got it, and she had her time with it, and she really, really liked it. And now she's passing it on to someone else for a third life." And the guy who was receiving it on their lot, and I'm explaining about the tip out and what I would do and cribbing and all this kind of stuff. And the conversation got to be, at the beginning, it was they have one spare room in their house, and they need these 2 more bedrooms, kind of thing. So at first it was their kids were arguing about who gets the room in the house, and after they saw the trailer, then the argument became, now they're fighting over who gets one of the rooms in the trailer. So everybody seems to be really loving it. And what a nice thing to do. You know, it feels good in my heart to be a part of this giving act. Karen and I had a conversation about it. I mean, it feels obviously good for her. You know, she owns the thing and she's giving it away. So she's doing a really nice thing and gets to feel good about it. And these people who are receiving it, obviously they feel really good. So just happiness all around. And if we tried to plan this, if we tried to figure all this out and, come up with a plan for ourselves and list it and everything, I don't think we definitely couldn't have done as good of a job or picking people to love this thing anymore. And to be able to kind of pay it forward that way. It's just happiness all around. So I'm very grateful to be a part of the thing and helping to orchestrate it. But so kind of the point of the story and that I want to get across is that it's important I've discovered it's important for me to be in the moment more these days and to let go and trust that things are going to work out the way that they're supposed to work out. And this to me is proof again that philosophy is way, way more powerful than the way I used to live my life, where I used to try and work the problem and try and force things to my will, or what I've decided is the way it should be or the correct answer or whatever. And that is definitely not always the best way to go about it. So this worked out really well. I've got a lot of these kinds of stories. So that's why it's important to let go. You don't know how great the answer really can be without letting go and seeing what can be provided to the situation. So if you have the opportunity, I encourage you, please let go, trust the process, trust that it's all going to work out, because in my experience, it always does. And it does it better than I could have figured out, better than I could have imagined. So there you go. That's story time for the day. Thanks for watching.